What's up, everybody? This is Taco Josh coming back at you with another baseball-related video today. This is not MLB The Show. This is a gut reaction to what just happened to the Astros, the punishments and stuff. I want to start doing more live baseball stuff like this, or baseball reaction, I guess, like this. So hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more of that. Yeah, let's get into the video. So I'm going to go over the punishments and then just kind of a gut reaction. And then after my gut reaction, we'll kind of break it down. Obviously, I am a Rangers fan. But more than that, I'm a baseball fan. And I don't hate the Astros. I think we all hate the Astros a little bit more now. But I don't want to see them decimated by this. And I think it's what happened is okay. So Luhnow and Hinch obviously get suspended for a year. $5 million fine to the Astros organization. Obviously, that's hitting the owner the most. And then the draft picks that were taken away from 2020 and 2021. Each of those two drafts have the first and second round picks taken away from the Astros. So that's 4 picks overall. Gut reaction. Luhnow and Hinch probably got off easy from the MLB. However, while I was thinking about this and kind of researching what happened and all the stuff that came out, Luhnow and Hinch were fired, and I think that takes care of them getting off easy. I don't know that Luhnow and Hinch get a job in baseball in the next 5 to 7 years. I just don't. It's gonna be tough to bounce back, especially for Luhnow and all the stuff and the light that he was in all the reports that came out. I don't know that Luhnow gets a job in baseball again. Honestly, I don't know. I don't see it. Now, Hinch is interesting. I think if enough time passes, a team might sign Hinch to be the manager. I really do. I think it won't be soon. It won't be before the year, let's say, 2025. I don't think Hinch gets a job in baseball before 2025, but I think he could get re-signed by a team at that point. I think it's just going to take time, but I could see Hinch working for another major league team again. Or, and more likely maybe, I could see him being in the minors, as a AAA manager, or maybe a bench coach for a major league team or something. I think he finds a job in baseball again. I don't know that it's manager, and I for sure don't think it's manager of the Houston Astros. I think that ship has sailed. Now, Luhnow, enough people hate Luhnow, I think, that it's certainly possible Luhnow doesn't ever get a job in baseball again. It seems like he's alienated enough people, enough rival execs, as the baseball writers love to say, enough scouts, which I might have already said. I don't know. But I don't know that Luhnow gets another job. I don't. Now, them being fired now, it puts a damper on the Houston offseason, clearly. Because you're going to have to fill those spots. Spring training's in a month. You need somebody to run spring training. Now, is that the bench coach? You just promote him to manager? I know he was being looked at for a couple of managerial spots. He wasn't hired, obviously, but do you just upgrade him and then you figure out a bench coach? That seems like that might be the most logical play. Or do you bring in somebody from outside? Because it's a culture thing. So if you upgrade from inside the organization, is that fixing anything? Is that fixing this culture of cheating or whatever the Houston Astros have? I don't know. Now, the GM is the trickier one. Do you promote from within? Or do you bring somebody in from outside? To me, it makes the most sense short term to promote somebody within. And I know that's not changing the culture like a lot of other people are going to want. But that's what makes the most sense if I'm the Astros. If you bring somebody in from outside, they're going to have to be trained basically on how you do things, or they're going to change everything and you're going to have to train everybody else within the organization. So if you have the talent and somebody that you're comfortable with, I think you promote from inside the organization at GM. Now, do the Astros do that? I don't know. has the MLB told the Astros in private that they're going to have to sign somebody from outside the organization because of this, quote, culture problem that the MLB perceives the Astros has? I don't know that either. If they have, obviously, the Astros will have to sign somebody from outside, and I'm not well read enough on potential GMs to know who they would sign. So I don't even have a guess. So I don't know. And it's late too to find a GM and a manager. So that's going to be tricky. That's going to be tricky for the Astros because that affects them both in the near term, this season, and then long term with a GM. Because you're going to have to figure out, do you want to extend players? Do you want to trade them now while you still have player control? Do you want to re-sign, trade? I mean, it's big. Like, this is a big decision coming up for the Astros. If you're the Astros, I don't think you should rush it. I think you need to take your time, but you need to get started immediately because you need somebody to run spring training and somebody to start making personnel decisions in about a month. So that's about the timeline for that. Let's talk about the $5 million fine. Not a big deal for the Astros, to be honest. Obviously, the message was sent to the owner, who then fired Luhnow and Hinch, but $5 million is $5 million. It is the most that was allowable in the MLB Constitution, so that's why they couldn't go more than that. But it's not a big deal long term for the Houston Astros. $5 million, it just isn't going to do anything really. It sends a message that the MLB is taking this seriously. But for the Astros, if you're an Astros fan, that's a win. That doesn't affect your payroll long term or near term really. So that's fine. Now, the most interesting thing that came out, and I think the thing that will be overlooked by most people, is the draft picks. If you think about it, they are taking away 2 first-round and 2 second-round picks in the next 2 upcoming drafts. So that overall, that is 4 draft picks, right? And the Astros are a team that is built off of draft picks. They just are. You look around the diamond, right? Bregman is a draft pick. Correa, I believe, is a draft pick. Springer, I think, is a draft pick. All of them in the first round, right? You take that away, that affects the Astros long term. And I think that's going to be overlooked by a lot of people. Because that's how the Astros like to build their team. The Astros, they'll sign free agents, right? They're not afraid to sign big name like Carlos Beltran or Reddick recently. Or they're not afraid to do that. They're not afraid to trade for players either. But their core, how the Astros are built right now, is draft picks, and you're taking that away from them. Now, the 4 draft picks are not going to affect their win-loss total in 2020 and 2021, right? They're just not. You're not expecting the Astros to draft MLB-ready players at that point. But what it does hurt is the long term of the Astros. Those players, obviously, you're missing 4 potential major league players with the way and the success the Astros have had drafting. You're missing 4 players, 4 top prospects that could be used as trade bait. You could use to trade for, excuse me, you could use to trade for long-term free agents. You could use to trade for players, for pitching, for a bench bat, whatever. You're missing those top 4 prospects potentially. So that affects you for a while. So if you're the Astros fans, I think you're glad it's not worse, but you're certainly not thrilled you're missing out on those draft picks, especially with how the Astros like to build their roster. Now, Major League fans, this is non-Astros fans, I think you're pretty happy with what happened today. Luhnow and Hinch, maybe you felt like they got off easy, but them being fired, I think that takes care of that. $5 million, you weren't going to get more than that. You weren't. That's the most allowable by Major League Baseball. The draft picks, I would be thrilled with, because that's how the Astros like to build their team. As a Rangers fan, I didn't want to see the Astros get decimated, and that is the truth. but I'm pretty happy with how that went. I think you needed to be punished. Honestly, the punishment feels about right for this. Any more, and you feel like they would have been reaching. Now, the I don't know. The people are gonna say, well, Hinch and Luhnow should have been suspended for life. Like, all right, calm down a little bit. Let's calm down just a hair. I think 1 year feels about right, and it'll be much longer than that if they're fired. Now, the next news to come from this that is yet to break, as I'm recording this at least. Hopefully, it doesn't break as I'm like uploading it or something, because that would be catastrophic. But Alex Cora, what happens to Cora? Because he's part of the Astros thing, right? He's heavily indicated in the Houston Astros report. Now he's got the Red Sox thing with him. I think Cora gets suspended, guys. If I'm a Red Sox fan, I may be researching potential managers for 2020. Because, man, that's not a good look for Cora. I think Cora gets suspended for a year or longer. Like, I really think Cora, this could be longer than a year. But I don't know. We'll see. So you guys comment down below. Let me know if you thought that these punishments are enough for Houston. Should it have been more? Should it have been less? What do you guys think overall? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll do my best to respond to any and all of them. But I don't know what to tell you guys. I think for baseball today, it's a win. And for Houston, you knew a punishment was coming, and I don't think it's a loss for Houston, maybe. I don't know. Either way, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one.